Didn't you hit your pixel, Harry?
I'm sure Ivan would like to think I did.
Funny, I thought the whole section got them.
Oh, I got something in my last check, no mistake. Don't you see, George? It's a trick. Yes, I got their pink piece of paper. I rushed it straight over to the lab for analysis.
They've closed the lab, Harry. They sublet the space to a garage.
You can see how well their ploy is working. Oh, they're cunning devils, all right. But they haven't put anything over on me. Not after all my years in the circus. If the lab was still there, they would have traced the paper right back to Moscow.
The pink strips are real, Harry. For all our being trained observers, we never saw the actual enemy. It wasn't the KGB, it was Perestroika. We're not needed. Fired.
Fired? No, I won't stop. I'm in Berlin. I'm in the game. Listen, George. I've pulled off something big. Tonight. Carla is coming over the wall.
Most of East Berlin is coming over the wall tonight, Harry. A large part of Czechoslovakia, too.
I'm going to help him, George. I'm going to help Carla over.
He wouldn't need help in a wheelchair, Harry. The gates are open. Espionage as we know it is over.
Over? I won't believe it. If it's all over, what about those men across the street? They're following each other, making swaps, the way it should be.
Those are the Americans, Harry. They're spying on each other. Which does seem a novel way around the problem. Harry, you don't think the circus would go for that, do you?
All these operatives over here, all this experience, a whole subgenre of literature, and let's not forget the English sense of tradition.
I still have the They took back my transmitter, but I can send a wire to London in the morning.
I can't wait until this morning, George. I need purpose now. Let me follow you back to your hotel.
Only if you try to kill me in an alley. Still got your silencer? We'll be back.
station. Wrapped in brown paper, back to his room, get every drop in the dropper. He rolled up his sleeve. Then he heard a groan from next door, room 18. A Mexican kid lived there. The priest had passed him on the stairs and saw the kid was hooked. But he never spoke because he didn't want any juvenile connections, bad news in any language. The priest had had enough bad news in his life. Heard the groan again, a groan he could feel. No mistaking that groan and what it meant. Maybe he had an accident or something. In any case, I can't enjoy my priestly medications with that sound coming through the wall. Thin walls, you understand. The priest put down his dropper, cold hall, and knocked on the door of room 18. Guinness, it's the priest, kid. I live next door. You'd hear someone hobbling across the floor. A bolt slid. The boy stood there in his underwear shorts, eyes black with pain. He started to fall. The priest helped him over to the bed. What's wrong, son? It's my legs, senor. Cramps, and now I'm without medicine. The priest could see the cramps, like knots of wood there in the young, lean legs, dark, shiny black leg hair. 2 years ago, I damaged myself in a bicycle race, and it was then that the cramps start. And he has the leg cramps back with compound junk interest. The old priest stood there, feeling the boy groan. He inclined his head as if in prayer, went back and got his dropper. It's just a quarter J, kid. I do not require much, senor. The boy was sleeping when the priest left room 18. He went back to his room and sat down on the bed. Then it hit him like heavy, silent snow. All the gray junk yesterdays. He sat there and received the immaculate fix. And since he was himself a priest, there was no need to call one.
What was she for Halloween? The ugliest girl you've ever seen. Promise not to tell me. What was she for Valentine? An old forgotten rape of mine. Promise not to tell me. He said to me, I know where you've been. I've already heard you binge and you purge old age, old age, old age, old age. It's okay to kill your idols. Just pretend you have no rivals. They all think the pile is endless. Little parties, peddle pink. Big princess, she drugs my drink. They don't know that we are friendless. He said to me, I know where you've been. I already heard you've been, and you purge old age, old old age, old age. And I beg you, I said, pretty please, make me pure again, oh, make me clean. Like acid in pools of scum, you must be the lucky one who gets to supply. You, I said, pretty please, make me pure again, oh, make me clean. Like acid in pools of scum, you must be the lucky one who gets to supply my demands. What a waste of sperm and eggs just falls off his bambi leg. You can always go back to rehab. He said to me, I know what you've been, pretty hurt, you did, and you purge old age, old age, old age, old age. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. At your desk, holy smokes, you have the best. When I'm with you, I feel blessed. A chinchilla, Satan sucks, but you're okay. Since you came, things go my way. Here tomorrow, here today, a chinchilla. One day I woke up, and everything was beautiful. My troubles had all fallen out the window. Satan sucks, but you're divine. Sitting pretty by my side. My oh my, a chinchilla.
finger up in the love. Take Patty to the hospital, put her neck in the sand. One, two, three, four. I'm that girl out there, how big on a penis when you kiss my lips. But she was dumb shit, kiss my lips. She flunked test number 1. I said, I'm smart when you see smart, we'll make out. But she didn't put out, we didn't make out. She flunked test number 2. I said, why'd you be cool and get hot? She said no. I said, I'm sorry, little girl. But you flunked test number 3. And you cannot graduate from my school, though. wow. It's another wow. It's gonna come. Hey, baby. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Bum 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 bum
WPRB Princeton.
I'm not gonna hang around both millionaires no more. No, I'm not gonna hang around both millionaires no more. Both millionaires, she went over, they got dinner. Both millionaires, she went over, buy you a present. Even if it's your birthday, she don't care. That's a both millionaire, I'm not gonna hang around with them. I'm gonna hang around with a poor millionaire and have myself a cool time. I'm gonna go to Paloma Picasso's house. And I'm gonna sit on her sofa. And then she'll come sit down right next to me. And then I'll try to kiss her. And then I will kiss her. And I'm gonna have a real cool time tonight. I'm gonna have a real cool time with all my cool millionaire friends. And then I'm gonna go to Fairfax at Major's house. Who wants to sell his singles on TV. I'm gonna have a real cool time tonight. And then I'm gonna go to Andy Warhol's house. We'll go see a movie. And then we'll go back to his house and we'll go pay him. And then he'll sign his name, then I'll sign my name. I'm gonna have a real cool time tonight. And then I'm gonna go to Margot Hemingway's house. Yeah, I'm just gonna look at her, you know? Whew, cool. I'm gonna have a real cool time. Gonna have a real cool time tonight. And then I'm gonna go to Peter Thompson's house. Yeah, we'll have a jam session. I'm gonna have a real cool time. Tonight. And then I'm gonna go into his recording studio and make a record. And I'm gonna knuckle his amp and I'm gonna break his guitar. Because he's one of my best friends.